Hello, welcome to another presentation of the Solid Sports Video Blog. This is episode 54, and today's date is September 8th, 2018. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Troy West here. Always a pleasure to talk to you guys and give you the sports topics of the week. As I announced, we're going to be doing 2 a week. And also, I'll be up with you Monday morning to give you a look back on Sunday's games and a preview of the Monday game. So I'm real excited about doing that. Today's blog pretty interesting. We got MLB update, of course. Not much have changed in the standings in the American League, but the National League, you got a real tough NL West battle between the Rockies, Diamondbacks, and Dodgers, who will come out on top. That is interesting to talk about. NBA Hall of Fame ceremony was last night. Well, the Basketball Hall of Fame. It's not just the NBA Hall of Fame. So it's a whole bunch of different players. Of course, led by Ray Allen, Grant Hill, Jason Kidd. And also we'll talk about Tina Thompson, a veteran WNBA player who was on that Houston Comets team in the inaugural 4 seasons of the WNBA was champions. So we're going to talk about those players and overall the Hall of Fame. And week 1 continues. Of course, Falcons and Eagles kicked us off on Thursday night. Eagles was able to grind out a win. Talk a little bit about that game and what's up coming up tomorrow, of course, on week 1. The 5 biggest games I picked out, but I pick all the games, go through them real fast. And those 5 games I'll probably talk a little bit more deeper about. And also touch on a little college football, a couple of marquee matchups today. Texas A&M and Clemson, probably one of the biggest games of the day. And a lot of the big teams still in action. And Serena Williams go for number 24 today, as the U.S. Open final is today. It's raining here in Baltimore where I am. I don't know in New York if it's raining there, but just something to look out for. Maybe it might be delayed or something, I don't know. But either way, we're going to talk a little bit about that as well this morning, because it is morning. But first, let's touch on baseball, get that out the way. Let's hear the American League, still same teams leading the division. Boston, each on 100 wins. Yankees still a strong wild card contender, so is the Oakland A's. Cleveland's pulled away in the Central. And in the West, Houston still got a little cushion on Oakland, as I just mentioned. Seattle still clawing, trying to stay irrelevant, but they have struggled a little bit and falling off. Everybody else is pretty much out of it. I don't see nobody else rising from the ashes or anything. So there'd be your 6 teams for the 5 spots right there. The only thing that's up in the air is maybe can Oakland hold on to that wild card spot or win that AL West, That's still up for question mark, because Seattle stay alive as they push towards the end of the season. National League, much more intrigue there in the NL East. My Braves still holding on to first place, as the Phillies been struggling. So are the Braves. They had a rough schedule. Boston came in there this week and mopped them up. And I know they lost to Arizona in the first game. I don't know if they beat them last night, but they still holding on to first place. Phillies still there fighting. Central Cubs have pulled away a little bit from the Brewers, but the Brewers still a strong wild card contender. So is the St. Louis Cardinals. But the NL West is going to be interesting. I think this will go down to the final week. Still going to hold out hope for the Dodgers, because they started to get healthy. But the Diamondbacks and Rockies are not going away. Rockies was the leader going into yesterday in the National League West. So that's going to be a division up the grabs. Then the losers might be, wild card teams. So National League still a lot of cloudy playoff picture there. And the AL is pretty much, you pretty much know pretty much who's going to be in the playoffs. It's all about positioning now in the American League. So still, like I said, about 3 weeks to a month left in the season. Of course, just like I did for the NBA and all other leagues, I will give a playoff preview and my predictions for the World Series. Of course, going into my season predictions last year, I had the Astros. I think I had the Astros getting back, and I had the Nationals in the American National League. Of course, that's done. The Nationals are done, so I come with a new National League team. I'm trying not to be so objective. I want to go with my Braves so bad, but I just still think they still have some work to do. They're still young, but I don't know. I might pick them because all the other teams in the National League. Well, really, for me, the team that looks the best right now is the Chicago Cubs. And they made some moves. Like I said, Daniel Murphy, that's a huge pickup that shouldn't be overlooked, especially when they make the playoffs. He's going to be a monster addition to their team. So if I had to pick one team right now, I'll go with the Cubs, but I make my decision closer to playoff time. But that's it for baseball right now. Let's go to the NBA. Of course, not a lot going on on the court because of course it's the off season. But I haven't heard the song. I probably gotta look it up. But one thing I wanted to touch on, Kevin Durant and LeBron James made a rap in 2011, so about 7 years ago. I think LeBron didn't he go to Miami yet? Did he? I don't think so. Or he was just getting there. Anyway, I know the rap was still in OKC for sure, but yeah, they made a little rap, so that's out there, whatever. So I might check it out just to see what's the hoopla about, but I haven't yet, so I know it's going to talk about it that long. But the Basketball Hall of Fame ceremony was last night. A lot of key names getting in. Of course, Ray Allen, Grant Hill, Jason Kidd, Tina Thompson, Katie Smith, I believe, another WNBA player. She got in. Doris Burke got honored. So this is a good class. Like I said, the 2020 class is going to be amazing with Garnett, Kobe, and Tim Duncan, which I already predicted that 2-3 years ago when they all retired the same year. Surprised. Well, Duncan, quietly retired. So did Garnett. He ain't really talk about it that much either when he retired. Kobe, he announced it, before the season, so they gave him, like a goodbye tour. So his is much more of a big deal, but that should be a great class. I don't know who's up for 2019, but I guess we'll find out soon. But I just want to touch on the key players and what their career was, in my opinion. Ray Allen, probably the best shooter we ever seen. You see Steph Curry probably would take that title once he retires, but Ray Allen was a sharp shooter. But Ray Allen, a lot of people know him more of a shooter, but in his younger career, when he was drafted by the Seattle Supersonics. Of course, they turned it to the Thunder later on, but he was there. Then he got traded to Milwaukee. It was on a key playoff team with him, Will Robinson, and Sam Cassell. He was more of a go-to scorer. He was go to the basket. He could shoot from anywhere on the floor. He was more a complete player. Wasn't bad defensively. Bucks, of course, lost in the finals. In the Eastern Finals to the Sixers in 2001. Of course, that famous Sixer team where AI dragged them all the way to the finals. Now that I think about it, I think he started in Milwaukee. Did he start in Milwaukee and go to Seattle? Because I know he was in Seattle battling with Kobe after Shaq left. So I should have did my research on it. Now I'm blanking out on Ray Allen, but I believe he started I want to say he started in Milwaukee, and then he went to Seattle as a free agent or something, and then he got traded to Boston. In fact, I'm not sure. Now I want to look it up, but either way, he wound up in Boston. That's where his career mainly known, when he teamed up with Garnett and Paul Pierce, of course. And they won their title in 2008, which I've said this before. A lot of people don't like this. I think that team, I don't want to say the team is overrated, but the time they got, because they only won one title. So but the way they talk about it is like they were so dominant, but they only won one title. Kobe won two during their time, but he got Gasol there, and they battled. They split the NBA Finals. I believe Boston won the first one, and then the Lakers started their two-peat. Or did Boston beat them the third? They was going for 3, and Boston beat them. But anyway, they only won 1 championship, so that's why I think sometimes they're a little bit talked about too much, like they were so dominant. The Heat at least won 2, even though they was, with 3 guys, with LeBron, Chris Bosh, and D Wade. But anyway, Ray Allen had a great career. He's the all-time leader 3-point made. So of course Steph Curry probably going to come for that record too. But Ray Allen was a decent player. Now Grant Hill to me was, his career was cut short by his injuries. I thought he was going to be the next best player. Of course, he came into the league for the Detroit Pistons, was basically putting up triple-double numbers, coming out. Jordan was still in the league. I was like, well, once Jordan retires, it's going to be Grant Hill's league, and he's going to take it over. But that wound up not happening. He got knee injuries. Still got another big contract with Orlando. It was supposed to be him and Tracy McGrady. That didn't work out because he was hurt. Sort of was down for a few years. Sort of wrecked the rest of his career. Had a decent run in Phoenix when D'Antoni was there. Steve Nash, who's also, I forgot to put down on this list, is going into the Hall of Fame as well. I'll talk about him as well. Matter of fact, I'll talk about him next. But Grant Hill, to me, I'd look at it like that. He could have had a way better career, would have been for his injuries. But still had a decent career though. You could tell the talent was there even after he rushed the rest of his career. You could tell, like, if he had got another shot to have his, be a leader or the go-to guy on his own team, I still felt like he could have done it. Grant Hill was one of my favorite players. I actually had a pair of shoes back in the day, the Felines. I had the Olympic ones, the all white ones, back when I was in school. So, other than that, Grant Hill definitely very accomplished career for him. And since I don't have Steve Nash down here, and that's why I try to write notes, and I'm glad I reminded myself that Steve Nash, to me, of course, one of the best point guards of all time, underrated scorer, could shoot the 3, he had a great 3-point percentage for his career. But to me, what fascinated me about Steve Nash, the way he can run the offense, just make moves off the dribble, passes off the dribble, just no-look passes, just always knew where his guys was, made the team around him better. Because that Phoenix team wasn't really that talented. That Phoenix team, when he won back-to-back MVPs, Amari started him out a year. He was a talented player. I think Joe Johnson was there, part of that, but other than those 3 guys, everybody else was just, made it to glorified shooters or was good defensively, like Rajah Bell. No offense to Rajah Bell, but they had guys like that. That Phoenix team definitely overachieved, but still disappointed that they never made it to the finals during that little run they had. But then he started in Dallas. Him and Dirk was close. He was a great player. I mean, ever miss Steve Nash? He sort of got injured, and probably supposed to be him and Kobe and Dwight Howard. That was the plan for the Lakers for their next dynasty look or whatever. But that didn't work out, and he hung it up. But congratulations to him. Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd was, to me, one of the best point guards I ever seen. I mean, I'm too young to really see Magic in his heyday. I seen him in his tail end of his career, and I know what he's done. But as far as what I've seen with my own 2 eyes, from the beginning of his career to the end, Jason Kidd was an awesome point guard. Like I said, this is a real point guard to me. Today's point guard is more of a scorer, not really a floor general point guard. I'm old school. I like floor general point guards like him. And like I said about Steve Nash, he made everybody around him better. That New Jersey Nets team, Made it to the finals back-to-back years. Yeah, they lost both of them. They lost to the Spurs in 7. I think they took the Spurs in 7 games or 6 games. No, I think it was 6 games because Detroit took the Spurs in 7, and Spurs won that series as well. But they got swept by the Lakers, of course, the year before. But look at that team. You know, that team had some talent. Kenyon Martin was a good player. A high flyer, could jump out the gym, rebound, play good defense. Kerry Kittles, good shooter. Jason Williams, the center. There's really no go-to scorer on that team, you know. Like, you look at that team, like, wow, how did they do it? But Jason Kidd got them in the right spots. Was good defensively. They scored where they had to score. But they was mostly a defensive team, run the offense, get to your spot and score. It was all because of Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd was on that team. That team would probably barely be a playoff team. But that's a good accomplishment. You know, he had good years. He was at Phoenix. He sort of bounced around the league a little bit. Got the Dallas, finally won a championship with the Mavs when they beat the Miami Heat. And I think if he wasn't on that team, that's possibly wouldn't have happened. To me, best point guard I ever seen. And my definition of point guard, not today, you know, not as talented as Steph or even Chris Paul, probably a scoring department, but he can run the offense better than those two in his sleep. And I hope he get another coaching opportunity as well. So Jason Kidd, great career for him. Definitely one of my favorite players growing up. And I definitely want to touch on Tina Thompson. Tina Thompson was an excellent player. She was sort of forgotten a little bit in that Houston Comets little dynasty, 4 straight championships to begin the WNBA league. Of course, they had Cheryl Swoop and Cynthia Cooper just came out of nowhere and just pretty much took over the team. I didn't know who she was until she started playing. I was like, wow, she was amazing. You know, so shout out to her too. Cheryl Swoops, of course, was pretty much a franchise player. But, you know, she was in and out, pregnant or injured. But she was there. And Tina Thompson was sort of like the third wheel. But she had a great career. 4 championships there. Of course, Cynthia Cooper retired. She was already in her 30s, I believe, when the league started. I think Swoops retired a little bit after that. So the team was hers. They didn't win again, but she could score anywhere on the floor. She was good defensively. I definitely think she should get a lot more credit than what she's getting for that team. She was definitely, if she wasn't on that team, who knows how far they would have got, or if they would have won 4 straight at least. Probably would have won some, but maybe not 4 in a row. But she deserves a lot of credit. I think she was their first draft pick, I believe, as well. So I'm just giving a shout out to these players. Congratulations to all of them, and they all have a good part of my memory, especially my childhood. Most of these players. So congratulations again. The ceremony was last night. I think they do something today and tomorrow. It's like a weekend full of activities. So like I said, congratulations to all those players and all the other people I didn't name. Maurice Cheeks got in as well. And there's a couple of other old time players that's in as well. So you can check out the whole list. Look it up. But I want to touch on these 5. I meant to put Steve Nash down here for sure. Alright, so that's it with NBA talk for now. Let's move on to the NFL. NFL Week 1, of course, started Thursday night. Of course, with the Eagles beating the Atlanta Falcons. This will be my last time really trying to push my picks and pick them. Nobody joined, so if you don't join by at least by tomorrow when the game starts, you're gonna be way behind. You already can get a jump on me now. Well, maybe not really a jump on because you don't get no points either for the Atlanta Falcons game, but we could be even if you join because I lost that game. I picked Atlanta to win that game and I lost, so I'm already down until tomorrow's game starts. So if you still join today, pick your games. You still have a shot to beat me, but after 1 week, you're gonna be behind points, and it'll be hard to make up unless you have a stellar season. But I'll leave the information in the description box of the video, or you can look at all my last 2 or 3 episodes. The information is there. Of course, you gotta download the ESPN Fantasy at first before you follow the directions. But yeah, tough loss for the Falcons. Like I said, the Red Sox offense failed them miserably. I was shocked, couldn't get the ball. Julio had a monster game, just could not get him, touches, around the red zone. And I think they abandoned the run a little bit too soon too. But the Eagles played good defense. They made the plays when they needed to make them, and they won the game. So that's all that matters. They move on to week 2. So will Atlanta. Like I said, I don't like the Falcons making the playoffs. I said that when I did my preview show last week. And if they don't improve with this, I definitely feel confident that's going to happen. So, but we're going to get into week 1. Go through the schedule real quick. I got 5 games here. I probably talk more extensively about. I start my power rankings Wednesday. I do my Wednesday blog. I have the 5 top teams in the NFL. I wanted to do one to begin the season, but I was like, nah, I just wait to these first week games, and I sort of go through who I think is the top 5 teams. Okay, let's start in Baltimore. It'd be the Bills and the Baltimore Ravens. I got the Ravens winning this game. I think the Bills, like I said, rebuilding. They got Peterman starting at quarterback. I think the Ravens going to feast all on that, force some turnovers, pretty much dominate this game from beginning to end. Bengals, Colts. Got the Bengals. I think the Colts, it's going to be a little rusty. I think the Bengals will do enough to win that game on the road. Steelers, Browns. That's on my list here. Steelers 4-point favorite. Only why I put this game down here, of course, the Le'Veon Bell situation is getting worse and worse by the day. And it seems like his teammates have turned on him. So will he even come back this season? That's going to be the question for the next few weeks for the Steelers. But everybody else there, Antonio Brown, Ben Roethlisberger, James Conner gets the start for Pittsburgh. I still think the Steelers have enough to win this game on the road. Browns also rebuild the team. Tyrod Taylor, decent quarterback. I think it'll be closer than people think, though. But I like the Browns defense. I like how they looked against the Eagles in preseason. Though preseason don't mean a lot, but that their game means something. And that defense looked fast, and I like how they get to the ball. So maybe they might disrupt the Steelers for a while. Then I think the Steelers will figure them out and break through and win the game, pull away, and win. So I got Pittsburgh winning on the road. Titans, Dolphins. I got the Titans, Dolphins to be could be one of the worst teams in the NFL this year. Ryan Tannehill's back, but what else do we have around them? I think Tennessee will win this game. Saved by at least a touchdown or so. 49ers, Vikings. That's on here on my list. Vikings 6.5-point favorite going in. I like the Vikings to win the game. I think the defense will be too much for Jimmy Garoppolo. This is really his first start since he been serenaded as the franchise quarterback here. So a lot of people looking at this game to see what he can do. I think 49ers have a decent year though, but I think the Vikings going to make a statement here, especially on the defensive side of the ball at home, and beat the 49ers there. Look out, see how Kirk Cousins play. That's a lot of pressure on him this year as well for the Vikings. I got Green Bay winning this division though, so we'll see how Minnesota looks. So interesting game to me, so that's why I put it here. But I got the Vikings winning though over the 49ers. Texans, Patriots, big game in the AFC. If you think these two teams will be playoff teams, Patriots 6.5 favorites at home. I think if this game was in Houston, I might have been tempted to take the Texans, but this game is in New England. Deshaun Watson just getting back. I think he's going to sort of be a little rusty. But I like this Houston team. I like their talent. But I don't think it ain't going to be enough to beat the Patriots. I'm hoping, for my sake, Gronk can have a couple of touchdowns for my fantasy league. And I think he will score at least once. And Brady will show that he ain't old yet. And this would be sort of a statement game for the Patriots. I think they win at home. Buccaneers, Saints beat the Buccaneers. Buccaneers had a lot of turmoil as well off the field with Jameis Winston being suspended for the first 3 games. Ryan Fitzpatrick gets the start for Tampa. I like the Saints defense. I think the Saints defense will force, Patrick gets some turnovers. Drew Brees will do his thing, and the Saints will win. Jaguars, Giants in New York. Jaguars, of course, AFC championship last year run up as they lost to the Patriots. Giants going in with Odell being healthy, of course, the rookie Saquon Barkley. So this was an interesting game to a lot of people. And then Jalen Ramsey, everything he said in the offseason about everybody, almost every quarterback anyway. Him and Odell Beckham will be a good matchup to watch. I'm hoping this game is on TV. This is one of the games I definitely want to see. But I think the Jaguars will do enough and win this game on a roll. I just think a defense will slow the Giants down. I think the Giants will need a couple of weeks to get going offensively. Jaguars, of course, the question is about Blake Bortles. Can he make a step in his development? If not, they might try to move on and get another quarterback next year. But I like the Jaguars to win this game. I think it'll be close. I think 3 points is a good number. They 3-point favor. I think that's a great number. I think it'll be about a 3-point game, and I think Jacksonville will pull it out and win. But it's one of the games I'm very excited for this tomorrow. Chiefs, Chargers. This is an interesting game as well. If I was doing 6, this would probably would have made it. I think the Chargers will win there at home. I think Patrick Mahomes getting his first start. Basically he's a rookie as well, even though he got a year, and I think he's going to have a decent year though. But I think he's going to start the year a little rusty, a little slow. I think the Chargers take advantage of that. The Chargers got a good defense. A lot of people picking the Chargers to do some damage in the AFC. I do got them winning the AFC West though. I don't know I should say from there how far they will go, but of course I'm a Philip Rivers fan as well. Now we're going, let's see if he have a monster year for the Chargers. It's just a game, but I got San Diego LA probably said San Diego, so I'm gonna make that mistake for the rest of my life. I just think it sounds better. San Diego, I grew up knowing them as the Chargers, even though they was in LA at one point. But Chargers win at home. Panthers, Cowboys, another sort of interesting game in the NFC. If you think both of these two teams, I think the Panthers will make the playoffs. A lot of people were a little down on the Panthers. I think Cam going to have a decent year this year, and their defense is going to be stout. That's why I pretty much got them over Atlanta. Basically, it's between them and Atlanta. I got them right now better than Atlanta to prove it otherwise. Dallas, an interesting team. Ezekiel Elliott back for a full season. Can Dak Prescott continue his maturation? Cowboys don't got no decent receivers, but maybe Zeke Elliott and around them better. My controller went out, so hopefully we didn't lose any contact. Oh dang, we all the way back out. So I messed my video up big time. Let me get back to the screen I gotta get on. Okay. I apologize for that. I was talking too much, wasn't paying attention. Of course, this is the playroom, if you didn't know. I had to keep on touching the controller, and I didn't, so I apologize for that. But as I was saying, Dallas, they season, pretty interesting to see how their season gonna go. I don't have them making the playoffs either, but I wouldn't be shocked if they turned it around and made something happen. But I got the Panthers winning at home. Broncos, Seahawks. Got the Broncos winning at home, even though I like Seattle. I have to do that real quick. That's why I can't wait. I need to get a laptop so I can really do some real videos that way. As I was saying, as I was really interrupted, and see, now they making me do all the stuff. See, I usually do this stuff before I start the video, so I don't have to do it. It won't bother you no more once you do it once. So, and that's why this goofy music you hear, I can't turn it off because it's part of the game. So, but I think this is a good app to record stuff with. Where was that? Broncos, Seahawks. Broncos winning. Let me just hurry up and end this because the video is sort of choppy now if that's happening. I got Denver winning at home, even though I like Seattle to still have a decent year. Cardinals, Redskins. Got the Cardinals at home winning over Washington. This game is now more interesting because of the Khalil Mack trade, but the Bears and the Packers Sunday night. We got Green Bay winning at home. I think it'd be a tough game though for the Packers, but I think they get it done. And Jets, Lions Monday night. The first Monday night game. There's 2 Monday night games this week. Of course, I previewed these 2 games anyway, but I already made my picks for them. I got Detroit winning at home over the Jets. Of course, Sam Darnold's first start, youngest rookie ever to start, which is hard to believe. Knowing how long this league has been around and nobody never started as young as him. 21. I think he just turned 21, so he's considered the youngest ever to start an NFL season at quarterback. So that's sort of a little bit surprising stat, but I think if he's the one to do it, I think he's going to turn out to be good. I think the Jets just got to build more around them, more offense. But I think it'll be a close game. I think they'll challenge Detroit a little bit, but I think the Lions will pull it out at home. And this game made my list. Rams, Raiders, interesting game. Gruden first official coach game since he's been out the league. He's returned to the Raiders, of course. I just mentioned the Khalil Mack trade. So this is going to be an interesting game. I think the Rams, like I said, I got the Rams getting to the Super Bowl this year. I think they make a statement here that they for real and they win this game. And I actually got a score for this game, 27-17, because in the Pigskin pick'em you got to pick a score. That's just in case you tie with someone in the pool. That'd be the tiebreaker. But I got the Rams pretty easily. I think the Raiders will start off a little slow this year. I think that could be a little Mac trade. It's going to be a big factor in the locker room, and it's going to get the Raiders off to a little bit of a slow start. And I don't got the Raiders making the playoffs. I don't think this year either. No, I don't. So I don't even have them as contender for the playoffs. I just don't think I think they'll probably win about 6 or 7 games. That's how I feel about the Raiders this year. They are my week 1 picks. Sorry about the acting crazy. I just wasn't paying attention. I got deep into talking. You notice when my hands is down, I'll be touching the controller. Keep it awake because it cuts itself off if you don't bother it for a while. So I sort of were choppy through there, but we got through it. And hopefully the video ain't too messed up, and I can still post. If not, I'm gonna have to start over, which is gonna suck if I do, but I would do it if I have to. One more NFL item to touch on. Of course, everybody know about the Colin Kaepernick Nike partnership, of course. Been a lot of hoopla about it. People burning their shoes, stuff like they go wear Nikes no more, and you got other people that are strongly supportive of it. And I'm supportive of it. I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing to get recognition for Cat. Of course, he got done wrong by the NFL. He's right now in a collusion case getting put together, so he's going to try to sue the NFL for basically discriminating against him for what he did. And I think he probably got a strong case. But overall, Nike, I think Nike is genuine. I'm not saying they're not genuine about it, but they're not that genuine about the real cause. The police brutality, the equality, and all the problems going on with minorities here in America, which I hate using the word minority. I really do hate using that word. I think it's stupid to call somebody a minority. But anyway, they more about the money, which in America you should know by now. Money is number one over race, over anything. People want to make money, so it is a way for Nike to make money, and they took advantage of it, just like anybody else would. But at the same time, it's still a good thing that they did this ad, for their Just Do It campaign. But those idiots out there better than Nike, they're gonna go buy Nikes again. Or, just don't buy the Kaepernick stuff if you don't want to. That's your right, I guess, But I just hope this turn into something for Cap to continue his crusade against police brutality, equality in our country. He made, and like somebody said, like some people have a problem with him also because it don't seem like he had a plan. Maybe he got a plan, we just don't know what it is. I do agree somewhat, maybe I wish he would have talked more, did just a few interviews, not a lot, just a few interviews during the time he first started it. But I didn't think he would get this, it would come out like this. So maybe he was just unprepared, but maybe he did have a plan, and we just don't know what it is. But like I said, maybe I would have liked to hear from him a little bit more myself, but at the same time, he had his own plan. Let him do what he think is best for himself and for the cause. So good luck to him. I just think it's being overblown just like everything else, and people need to just look at the reality of the situation, man. Nike is all about their money, so the money come first. So that's mainly why they did this, but hopefully this will turn out to be a more positive thing than negative for Cap and for Nike and for everybody. So just wanted to touch on that real quick. Final thoughts, not a lot, just wanted to touch on a little college football. If you're a college football fan, another slate of games today, not as big as last week. Of course, I think the headliner is Clemson, Texas A&M. Of course, Clemson's number 2, Texas A&M not ranked, but Jimbo Fisher's there, so he's familiar with Clemson from the ACC at Florida State. So that's an intriguing game everybody looking towards. And everybody see it can teams bounce back from big losses last week. But not a lot of big games today on the slate. I also want to give Serena Williams some love. She made it to the finals again in the U.S. Open. This will be her 24th major championship if she's able to get the win. I hope she does. I think she will. She's been dominating. She had to beat her sister Venus to get here. Of course, just last week I talked about that. And she's won ever since all week to get to this point. The finals today around 4. I was just saying at the beginning of the video, it's been raining here in Baltimore on the East Coast, so usually the East Coast weather be relatively the same. So I don't know if it's raining up in New York right now, but hopefully it's not, and they can get that match and won't be no delays or anything like that. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna definitely keep an eye on that while I'm working today, see if she get the win and make history. Be tied, I think, with a woman tennis player. But like I said, she best all time to me. Even if she lose today, she already, in my eyes, the best tennis player I've ever seen in my life. So go get him, Serena. Go ahead and make history. I hope she's able to get that done today. Alright, so that'll do it for episode 54. A little choppy. Hopefully I don't have to start over, because, well, if I do have to start over, you ain't gonna know about it, because it'll be a whole new video. But thank you for joining me as always. Thanks for all the support. Special shout out to 1K Yellow Diamond. She's been real supportive for the channel lately, so I appreciate her. And everybody else who's been supportive. I know my man Derek will probably watch today. So shout out to you, my man. And good luck for your fantasy league this week. Yeah, so And thank everybody. Of course, I'll see you Monday morning as the first episode of Monday Morning Football Hangover will start. As I talk about the games from Sunday with you guys live on YouTube on Monday morning. And then Wednesday, of course, is a blog. So you'll be seeing a lot of me now that's football season. And of course, next week's Thursday night game, I believe, is the Ravens and the Bengals. So, and check out all my video game projects. I got a God of War video just uploaded just now. Been trying to do Mega Man X3. Just been struggling with the levels. So I'm trying to get that straight. Spider-Man already came out yesterday, but I'm not going to have it till Monday, so you will be seeing videos of that. So that's probably the freshest content I have. Madden 19, I'm going to start the season with that Monday as well. So Monday is a big day. I'm going to start doing, some projects, so look out for those. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the support. And I'll talk to you on Monday morning, live on YouTube, talking some football. So thank you so much, and I'll talk to you. Have a good weekend, and I appreciate you all. Thank you so much.